Now, government has highlighted achieving a favorable budget deficit as the biggest threat to issuing the single West African currency, the Ocloo. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta disclosed this at the meeting for central bank governors and finance ministers from ECOWAS countries in Africa. George Afe has more.
Speaking at the program, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta noted that despite this challenge, they are committed to putting in place the required measures to help them meet this budget deficit target.
The WAMSI as a bloc is still not able to meet both the primary and secondary macroeconomic convergence criteria on a sustained basis. But monetary integration and the single currency program must be grounded on sound and harmonized macroeconomic policies. We collectively, therefore, need to double our efforts towards institutionalizing macroeconomic stabilization and growth measures which will ensure the achievement of the convergence criteria.
Ken Ofori-Atta noted that all the member countries should be guided by the fact that we have just 11 months to start issuing this currency.
We have come a long way on the WAMSI integration journey, with the ultimate goal of establishing a monetary union and a single currency program by the year 2020. We should therefore not lose sight of the fact that the year 2020 is only 11 months away.
Speaking at the same program, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia noted that member countries should look at how they want the currency to be structured before its issuance.
The lessons from the Eurozone, launched 2 decades ago, should continue to guide us in designing and implementing a robust framework for the WAMS. Developments in the Eurozone have highlighted the need for countries to achieve and maintain the required level of macroeconomic stability prior to and after the formation of a monetary union.
Vice President also noted that its prudent economic policies have started yielding the right results looking at the current macroeconomic data.
As at the last assessment of WAM's member states' status of compliance with ECOWAS trade-related protocols, Ghana was the most compliant country. And in terms of trade integration in the WAMs, Ghana emerged the second best performer.
The meeting brought together other technical officers from the various ministries of the member countries and other monetary organizations in the West African Monetary Zone, as well as donors. The ECO was one of the major projects planned by ECOWAS after it was established in 2000. It was the expectation that the single currency will fast-track the integration of the various states. However, challenges by member countries in hitting the budget deficit target delayed its introduction in 2005, 2010, and 2015. However, the various heads of state have resolved that even if one member country is able to meet all the criteria, they will go ahead with the issuance of the ECO from next year.
Government, through the Ministry of Trade and Industry, will support the operations of Esther Ocloo Foundation to promote industrialization and entrepreneurship. This is to mark the 100th birthday of the late entrepreneur who founded the Association of Ghana Industries and Nkulenu Industries. Minister of Information, Kojo Nkrumah, made the disclosure after the launch of the centenary celebrations of Dr. Esther Ocloo in Accra. There's more in the following report.
The celebration of the 100 years of an industrialist who was founder of the first local manufacturing company in Ghana is an idea to promote the spirit of entrepreneurship and revive patriotism in the country. Dr. and Mrs. Esther Ocloo died in 2002 as a celebrated industrialist with a passion to create more employment and empower the youth. The Esther Ocloo Foundation will be hosting activities in the Volta region and other parts of the country to remember the late founder of industries in Ghana. Elizabeth Ohene is the spokesperson for the foundation.
It's important that we wanted to put it all together, but more important is to remember that some of the products that you still see on the market, Nkulenu, marmalade, Nkulenu, these days they are doing into kenke, they are into the palm soup, all those things were started and how it was started. It's a story that needs to be told over and over and over again so that people know that they can do similar things.
Minister of Information Kojo Ponkuma told Joy Business that government through the Ministry of Trade and Industry will support the foundation in its quest to create opportunity for employment.
So it's very significant. We intend to highlight it very much and encourage a lot more people, industrialists, young entrepreneurs, potential entrepreneurs, to learn from the values and the lessons that she stood for.
Will government be supporting this foundation in any way?
Yes, government will be, through our ministry, through the Ministry of Trades and Industry, providing, as we have been doing, various avenues of support to encourage the objectives that the foundation stands for, which is to sell the value system that she stood for.
Vice President of the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, Humphrey Enyim Dake, has been speaking about the significance of the celebration.
The spirit and the drive to go through the mill at that time, the formation of a country, and an individual identifying that I need to create wealth for myself as an industrialist, an entrepreneur, in the midst of challenges, not of this era of modernity.
The theme for the centenary celebration is honoring a legend of her time. Ebenezer Sabute's reports for Joy Business.
A woman worth celebrating. Let's head to the Ashanti region next, where the Kumasi abattoir company is currently producing below capacity of 60 cattle per hour. Owing to low supply from local livestock breeders, the company now relies on cattle imported from neighboring West African countries. Karen Dodu has the rest of the story.
The livestock slaughtering and processing factory in Kumasi was established in 1998 to provide high-quality meat and slaughtering services to butchers. Although the company is equipped with the right machinery, it is unable to produce to its full capacity of 60 cattle per hour. Daily, butchers in and around Kumasi buy fresh meat from the abattoir. Unfortunately, due to excess demand, latecomers sometimes leave with no meat or meat products to take away. Out of the 200 cattle processed daily, only 10% is sourced from the local cattle breeders. The rest come from Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger. Service manager for the butchery, Bright Amenofer, explains that they are forced to spend more as they have to change currencies before buying the foreign cattle from such countries.
Very, very expensive because it depends on the CFA CD exchange, the rate. So it's very expensive to us. We don't have the numbers at all in Ghana. What we have is not enough. So you realize that what we get from Ghana is just about 10% of what we slaughter in here, yes.
According to line manager Bababu, investment in cattle production by governments in these countries is high. This, he noted, is an incentive for livestock breeders. He believes that Ghana can do same if government begins to support the farmers.
The government should set in. The government should set in. There are some farmers who need money to intensify it. So when the monies are being given to them, from time to time, the agric officers, what have you, will then be checking them, seeing that if they are progressing or not. It might help.
So behind me is the market where people bring their cattle to sell to the abattoir. But the challenge is most of the cattle sold here are not from Ghana. From Mali and Niger, these cattle come all the way to Ghana to be bought. Now, out of the 200 cattle used or killed in a day, only 10% is from Ghana, meaning that we are not producing enough to meet demand. Reporting here from the Kumasi abattoir, I'm Karen Dodu for Joy Business.
From the Ashanti region to the Central region next, where the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Emmanuel Kofi-Nti, has been urging members of the Ghana Revenue Authority Workers Union to continue to work harder and diligently this year to facilitate the achievement of this year's accelerated target of 49.40 billion Ghana cedis. According to the Commissioner General, Ghana can only function beyond aid if members of the Revenue Workers Union work with integrity and resolve not to rob the state. He was addressing the second National Delegates Congress of the Ghana Revenue Workers Union at Winneba. Richard Kojunyakun has more.
The success or otherwise of the revenue administration depends on the collective efforts of management and labor. He is confident it is only positive achievement in revenue mobilization that will determine whether the phrase broaden the tax net has become just a mere cliche. Emmanuel Kofi explains since Labour is a grassroots of revenue administration, management of the GRA will count on the workers to redouble their efforts to widen the tax nets.
As an organization, let us sustain the education and sensitization of the public on the need to honor their tax obligations and to contribute their quota towards the national development agenda. Through regular interactions with taxpayers, they will come to understand us more and make our revenue mobilization efforts less burdensome. In the year ahead, we will continue to name and shame tax defaulters as well as prosecute tax debtors. It is therefore the expectation of management that GRAU members will continue to work harder and more diligently this year to facilitate the achievement of this year's accelerated target of 49.4 billion. Ghana Beyond Aid is achievable if we all put our shoulders to the wheel, deal with taxpayers with integrity, and resolve to not compete with our employer for the resources that rightly belongs to it and the state.
The Commissioner General revealed the GRA has received 10,000 personnel from the Nation Builders Corps. This, he says, is to help in the revenue mobilization drive.
As part of measures to enhance revenue mobilization, the GRA has received 10,000 Nation Builders Corps NAPCO recruits posted to the organization. They've been given orientation and training and have been posted to various departments of GRA. The recruits will be deployed to support the implementation of tax measures and strategies. They will particularly be helpful in identifying and registering potential taxpayers, collection of rent tax, follow-up on debtors, and assist in TIN registration.
The Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, expressed concern about the inability of the GRA to meet its set revenue target 3 consecutive times. According to him, government has had to borrow and in some instances cut expenditure in order to make up for the shortfalls. He urged the workers to up their game in order to raise enough revenue to help develop the country. The theme for this year's Congress is widening the tax nets to achieve Ghana Beyond Aid, the role of labor. Richard Kwejo-Nyakon, Joy News, Cape Coast.
Now, the world's largest producer of spirits and a key producer of beer, Diageo PLC, has appointed Gabriel Opoku-Asare as head of society in charge of sustainability and responsibility in the Africa region. A statement from the British multinational said Mr. Opoku-Asare would lead Diageo's sustainability and responsibility strategy across the beverage giant's 13 priority markets, comprising 4 business units, which are in Africa, emerging markets, East Africa, Southern Africa, and Nigeria. Earlier, I spoke with Mr. Opoku-Asare on his new role, which took effect on the 1st of this month.
My new role, I'm going to lead Diageo's strategy on responsibility and sustainability across Africa. If I say responsibility, it's our work in society to ensure that alcohol plays a positive role and people who do enjoy our drinks, that is even non-alcoholic drinks, enjoy it responsibly. And on sustainability, in our key thematic areas of water, skills, local raw material, and the new baby on the block, which is plastics, we want to ensure that any community that we operate, we are building it in a thriving way. Communities do benefit just as we are making profit in these communities. So I'll be leading these programs across Africa and building partnerships with other non-governmental organizations and also with government and civil society and communities to ensure that our projects have scale and impact.
Okay. I'm wondering, your company has been in existence for many years and you're now creating society rule, to put it that way. What's triggered this?
It's, I think the first thing is to show our commitment towards building thriving communities across Africa. Not a lot of companies would have a budget to have somebody in this role to lead such projects, but we believe that this is the right time. For us, it goes directly to our purpose. Our purpose is celebrating lives every day, everywhere. And in the communities that we operate, if
people in the community are not celebrating, are not happy about our operations, are not also seeing the benefits of DIGO in that community, then it defeats our purpose. And that's why this role came into place, to drive the strategy, to drive more partnership, to drive skill across Africa.
In other news tonight, a financial economist, Collins Appiah, is advising entrepreneurs and other business owners who wish to raise funds to explore the option of the stock market rather than borrow from financial institutions. Speaking on the business edition of PM Express with Philip Nanfori on JoyNews last night, he said he believes the cost of raising capital on the stock exchange is much lower than raising loans from banks.
I think if you pick it from the cost implication or the transaction cost of getting listing, I would say no, because from where I sit, I think I've seen a lot of listing on the market, the prospectus that you mentioned, the fees that the financial advisor will charge the legal advisors, the stock exchange, and the levy too. Normally, when you put all together, I can tell you it doesn't more or less exceed even 5% of the amount you are trying to raise. And that's why initially the stock exchange made it there was a limit of capital that you can raise on the market. And if you are not able to meet that minimum limit, they don't allow you to list on the market. They realized, then afterwards, they realized that some of the small companies would not need such huge funds. Then they created the gas market, the alternative, the alternative market for the amount of money people want to raise to be on the low side. The reason why I said I think the cost is not really a big issue is that, take a typical example, an entrepreneur prefers to go to a bank. How much interest rate are they getting from the banks?
About 26%.
Good.
Average.
So if you are paying 26% per annum, and somebody is willing to charge you not even more than 5% on raising funds freely to go and use in your business, why would you want to consider that? That's why based on this, then I'm saying that I think the problem is really not the cost implication of these charges that come with it.
Mr. Appiah also called on government to put in place the right incentives as well as strategic framework that will see companies list on the stock market, especially foreign companies, which will come with some benefits for Ghanaians and the economy.
As a growing economy, we expect government policies to support the development of the exchange. The policies we are looking at is a typical example that they gave with MTN. When MTN wanted a 4G, I mean, the government could refuse not to give the license because he has the right. Then he says that, okay, if you want the license of the 4G, I also want to do this. That for me is more of a strategic way of helping, companies. And I would look at those policies geared towards the foreign entities rather than the locals. In that case, then we know that, one, you are doing that to grow. Let your local Ghanaians take advantage of the stock market or having more shares to trade or to make money on, and also retaining or maintaining your foreign exchange, exchange rate, which I think is better for the development of the nation as a whole. It's only in that context. So, and that one we should only look at only the telecommunication alone, but other, the oil that we found. Almost all the companies that are drilling are foreign companies. Yeah. Yes, government have equity, a stake, certain percentage of royalties and other things. Why can't we also ask them that as part of it, we still expect that at this point in time, you should upload, you should list this number of shares on the market so that Ghanaians can also benefit, in this whole discussion.
Okay, so let's take a look at the performance of trading on the Ghana Stock Exchange this week. Earlier, my colleague Emmanuel Abuajiri spoke with Bertha Tubiga, a research analyst with Gold Coast.
This week has not been so different from what we've been experiencing. The dollar, for instance, recorded no change. I mean, when you talk about the year-to-date depreciation, daily depreciations or appreciations of the cedi against these major trading currencies, we didn't see much change with the dollar on Monday. However, it depreciated by 0.15% on Tuesday, lost 0.00%. That means there was no change on Thursday and Wednesday. Thursday, it lost 0.12% to the dollar. It currently recording year-to-date depreciation of 3.12% to the dollar. And to the euro, we saw it depreciating throughout the week. That means it lost from Monday to Thursday. It lost 0.13% on Monday and lost 0.33% on Thursday, recording year-to-date depreciation of 4.53%. These are based on the Gold Coast CD index. And the euro, however, appreciated against the dollar. The CD appreciated against the euro on the interbank market, went up by 0.20%, and by close of yesterday we saw it appreciating by 0.08% and recording year-to-date decline of 2.32%. And we're expecting the that first quarter of this year for the city, we are expecting it to close not less than 3%. That's the year-to-date depreciation. We're expecting it to be around 3% by end of first quarter. And the reason being that if we see further depreciations, we expect the managers of the city to come in with some interventions so that we don't see it depreciate further than we expect. And moving on to the tradings on the Ghana Stock Exchange, by close of trade yesterday, we didn't see significant shares trading. Only 28,121 shares were traded, give us a value of 39,893.78 Ghana cedis. We had 14 equities participating in trade, and it ended with 4 gainers and just 1 loser. Leading the gainers list, we had the Trust Bank Limited, the Gambia, adding the most investors' capital, 13.04% share price appreciation, followed by we also saw some other equities. ETI went up by 6.67%, Societe Generale went up by 2.13%, and MTN Ghana appreciated by 1.35% by close of yesterday's trading session. SIC was the sole loser on the market. It lost 5% of its opening share price, however recorded the highest volumes of shares on the exchange. 8,600 shares were traded in SIC by close of trade, and we had CAL trading 6,900. MTN traded 3,200 shares.
Bertha Tibiga bringing us the stock market update. So today, a big meeting here in Accra to discuss the way forward in terms of issuing a single currency for West Africa. We had the governors of the central banks of various countries in West Africa meet, as well as their finance ministers. And our government has been expressing its commitment to issue the currency by next year. And that has been subject for our poll tonight. In the last 2 hours, we have been asking if you support the use of the ECHO. And 68% of you are for it. In fact, you want to see the ECHO being issued next year, whilst 32% of you are not in favor of the use of a single currency. But whatever be the case, if all the hurdles are overcome, that means that we are going to have the ECHO issued next year. And on February 12th, that's the date for the Joy Business PwC Knowledge Series on taxes. It is happening at the Movenpick Ambassador Hotel. It's going to be a very interesting session, and the time is 8:30 a.m. Remember that we are running with the hashtag IntelliTax. There's more news on our website, joybusinessnews.com. My name is Darryl Powell. Thanks for watching. We are back same time next week.